Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to the Linux tutorials. So this is the second lesson of our Linux tutorial series. So in the first one we learned about some very basic commands. In this one we'll try to continue. So let's see what we have got in this folder. There are different files. So I told you to create files. I told you commands to create files and folders. But what if I want to remove a file or a folder? So we'll try to learn commands for removing a file or a folder. So I'll just quickly make down a folder like named Ali, and then LSC, there is the folder, and I'll copy the file, new file to Ali. Yes. So if I want to see the contents of Ali, I don't need to go inside it. I can simply ls Ali and it can show me the contents of that folder as well. So let's remove the file. For example, I want to remove the file new name.txt. Simply use the rm command. Rm is to remove new name.txt. See, that file is gone. What if I want to remove the folder Ali, rm? It will say cannot remove Ali, it's a directory. So to remove a directory, you need to use the command rm space -r, that is delete it recursively. Now ls, you see, it just deleted the folder. So in the Linux, if you press enter and it seems doing nothing, just it comes to the next line, then you shouldn't worry about, because it means that it have done what you have asked it. But if it gives some error like this, then you need to worry about that the command is not executed properly because of some problem, and the problem is addressed here. So now you have learned how to how to remove the files. So you can clear the screen by writing clear, or you can press Ctrl L on the keyboard to clear the screen. Now I want to show you there is another thing called permissions. Permissions is very important. Even permissions are present in Windows, but you don't really encounter them like you do in Linux. So in Linux, if I want to see the permissions on these files, I just write ll and it gives me the list of files in such a format that it shows the permissions on the file. And now you can see that this file, my first file.txt, it is owned by user Hashmi and group Hashmi. So you know that in Linux every user has a group, and we can combine different users in a group as well and put a policy or a permission on the group, so that it works more easily than putting all the permissions separately on every single user. So the first name is the user, second name is the group. Now if I see the first name, it says that these are three permissions: read, write, and execute. So I can read this file, this user Hashmi can read this file, it can write into this file, but it cannot execute the file. The file is not executable. Similarly, group members can read, write, and execute. But what about the others? There are three things. Number one is the user, number two is the group and group members, number three is all the others, any other user. So for others, it says that they can just read the file, not even write to the file. They don't have permission to write the file. And similar is for the file listed below. What if I want to give others the permission to write to this file as well? Alright, so to set permissions on these files so that others can also write. Let's have a look at the permissions chart in Linux. So here's how it looks in Linux. If you want to change some permissions, what you can do is you can write some numbers. There is a command, I'll just show you. Let's resize it here so you can see these numbers. I'll just write down the command, that is chmod, and then I can write the permissions and then the file name. So chmod, if I want to give others no permission, like 0, no permission at all, what I can do is, if I want to keep these permissions, read, write, you can see that read plus write means number 6. I'll just write 6, that is for the user. Other 6, that is for the group. And now for others, I want no permission, not even the reading permission. I just put 0 here, and then my first file dot text, enter. Now if I press LL, you can see that this file now has read write permissions for user and group, but no permission for others. These 3 last dashes are for others, so others will not be allowed to even read the file. What if I want to give others the same permission, like read plus write? So in Linux, you can also repeat the command with up arrow key. If I press up arrow key, I can bring back the commands which I just typed. So what I'll do is I'll give others the same 6 permission as well. So now if I press enter and LL, you can see that now user, group and others all have same type of permissions. So from this table, you can make up different numbers, and you can use them for permissions, whatever kind of permissions you want to put down on a file. You can simply write chmod and then permission and then the file name. So if you want to apply permissions on a directory, then you better want to add recursively here, chmod -R, and then apply to the directory. It will apply to the directory and all of its contents as well. Contents mean all the files in that directory. So if you don't use -R, it will simply apply the permission to the directory, but not to the contents or files that are already in the directory. So, but if you use -R here, it will apply the permissions to the directory and all the subdirectories and files, whatever is in that directory. So that was the basic training about the setting the permissions on the files and folders. I hope you will try and apply these permissions, and if you get stuck somewhere or you have any question, you can just write in the comment section, and I'll try my best to reply to it as soon as I can. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.